A lot of our feelings and attitudes depend on how we were brought up. What are the things we were taught to believe and feel? Many of us subscribe to ideas or principles of equality. Well, it's built into our heritage, but in practice, we may not behave as we so subscribe. And the thing I'm getting at here, it might be called a gap between our principles and our practice.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Such has been the concept of marriage in our society for thousands of years. To have and to hold, for better, for worse, till death do us part. And no mention made of a difference in color of skin. A few short years ago, the union of a man and woman from widely scattered parts of this planet was a contravention of some unwritten social code. Many called it interracial marriage and said it was not a good thing. The penalty was prejudice, persecution, and ignominy. Today, much has changed. The world has become a small place, and the different is no longer so strange.
Wouldn't it be nice if we could get a house close to a nice beach like this?
Oh, well, it would be good.
Yeah.
I'll find it sort of difficult to live any place where there isn't a view or some quiet retreat.
Yeah.
Did you find anything in your newspaper?
No, not anything that I, think would be close to a nice beach or anything. You may have to forgo it this time.
Well, I don't know, but we'll have to keep looking, I guess.
Well, there was one I found close to that friendly landlord. Do you remember him that we encountered last year?
Oh, a fellow with a sign?
Yeah.
Oh, I remembered him all right. But we found that place soon afterwards, and that was okay.
Good afternoon. We're calling regarding the suite you have for rent here.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's rented.
Oh, you forgot to remove the sign.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Good morning. Do you still have a suite for rent?
Yes, I do.
Would it be possible to see it?
Yes, I think so. Someone's in it now, but I think it's all right.
Thank you. This is it here, is it?
Yes. Mm-hmm. The dining room and the kitchen and bathroom to the right.
This is very nice. How much is the rent?
$100.
And when would it be available?
The first of the month. Just look around and,
yes, it's very nice. I like it. Would it be possible for me to bring my husband tonight to take a look at it?
I think so, yes. What time would that be?
Well, around 7:30. Would that be all right?
That would be fine, yes.
By the way, my husband is West Indian. Would you have any objection to that?
No, certainly not. There's no concern of mine. I think I'm more concerned with the individual rather than the racial background of a person. This
I see.
Be no problem.
Some people do object. That's why I ask. Oh, that would be fine then. Thank you very much.
Oh, very good.
Well, I have no discrimination at all against Negroes or against Oriental people, but as I have lived a great length of time in the Orient, I know that those marriages never are very happy. This is the trouble. You see, for instance, if a student goes to England and he studies there, the couple is very happy, but as soon as they go back, for instance, to Bombay or to Karachi or somewhere, then the family takes hold again of the person, and the families, it's too much of a... The big family, you know, the parents or so, they take back the person, the young man again, and they're never very happy. This is the trouble.
Would you allow your daughter to marry a colored person?
Well, I have no children, but if I had one, I would have no objection against marrying, but I would point out very, very strongly that those marriages very, very seldom are happy.
I think when you come right to the root of it, it's hard to find anything other than the desire to seek respect for another person as an individual. You seem to end up in this position. And when you accept this as the thing we seek, then you find it difficult to say whether mixed marriage, for example, is a good thing or a bad thing as a principle. I know of students who have married across racial groups involving color difference and so on. And the thing that makes or breaks the marriage is not this difference, but the quality and character of the individuals who undertake this experience.
To my knowledge, there is no religious group that has sanctions against interracial marriage. I'm certain that, certainly in Roman Catholicism, there is nothing to forbid such marriages.
I still can't understand why you don't hate. You know, why you aren't bitter. It'd be easy for you to hate people, I think.
To me, hate is a luxury. You pay a price for it. And to me, the price is too great. It can pretty well drain you. And whenever I feel inclined to hate, I think about children. Can you hate children?
No, that would be silly.
To me, prejudiced grown-ups are like misguided children.
Yeah.
And you hate or you dislike strongly, I guess, the upbringing and not the children themselves.
Yeah.
So this is how I think about it. Every time I feel inclined to hate, if you want to call it hate, something always puts me back on an even keel. Maybe children playing, the innocence of children. People are born children, incidentally.
Yeah.
Or I might remember someone who had been kind to me when I really needed help. And then I can't hate people because there are few individuals who prevent my hating people as a group. It's pretty well impossible.
Yeah.
Besides, I think I haven't lived in this country long enough to learn to hate.
Rudy and Heidi have been married 6 years, and they have been happy. They have 2 children, and most see them as just another couple. There have been a few unhappy events, some of them enacted here. The business about finding a place to live. The hate stare. The mildly curious. And the overly kind. On the surface, it would seem that we have almost outgrown our prejudices of a century or 2 ago. Almost, that is, but not quite.
Well, that should be against the law.
And would you allow your son or your daughter to marry an Oriental or a colored man?
Never.
I think that's up to the people who are concerned. They're in love, and that's up to them to decide whether they could complete their marriage happily.
Would you allow your daughter to marry an Oriental or a colored man?
Yes, I would.
I think it's a very good idea, so long as it doesn't happen to my children.
My opinion is on interracial marriages that we are all, what did I say before? Regardless of race or color, we are all molded from the same clay. And I believe where the love is from the heart, that the interracial marriages, where there is love, I believe that it's, I'm for it myself. I think it's all right, providing there are no children. I believe that it is a reflection on the children.
Would you allow your daughter to marry an Oriental or a colored man?
Yes, I believe I would, providing they didn't have any children, if there was true love there. Yes, that providing there was no children.
Well, since I'm married to a Caucasian, I suppose that's answer enough.
Fine.
I think the climate in Canada is approaching a better attitude towards interracial marriages. Up here, the racial prejudice, I don't feel is that great.
Children would tell us that prejudice is a learned response. It really doesn't matter what color his skin is. It's how far he can throw a ball, or how fast he can climb that really counts.
5, 10, 15 years ago, if a white boy in this town went out with a Japanese or a Chinese girl, then people would have frowned upon it. Today, it's sort of brushed aside. Nobody thinks twice about it.
The geneticist is often asked about the throwback. That is the occurrence of a Negro child or a child with striking Negro features born to presumably white parents. Actually, although there are many such instances reported, none have been documented accurately. On basis of our genetic knowledge presently, such a thing would be an impossibility and is what we call one of the myths that have grown up about racial biology. To have a sporadic event like this suddenly cropping up is virtually an impossibility. The rule generally is that if one of the parents has some Negro component that and is married to a person who has no Negro genes, then the offspring of this couple can be no darker than the darker parent. And any attempt to document exceptions to this rule have met with failure.
When a clergyman is making out the forms that the government requires you to make out for marriages, there is a line which asks about the racial extraction of the two people. And every time I make one of these forms out, I have to ask myself, why is this here? Why does this matter? Why is this important? In our job applications, this line has been taken off in many cases. And why should it not be taken off in this case? Surely by having this line on there, racial extraction, we are perpetuating a prejudicial idea which is bad in our society.
What about your mother? What did she have to say about this?
She always had some old philosophy based on the Bible or something like that. I guess it's a type of heritage of my people, I guess. When they came here, the Bible was, and still is to a large extent, the source of inspiration for living. As far as this is concerned, she said, well, life, my boys, is like a road, and everyone has a cross to carry. I guess just thinking about Christ. And you have a choice of your cross. You choose the size of your cross or the weight, perhaps. And this is my cross. I chose this cross, well, then I carried.
But you don't have this problem at all.
Oh, not really. But she wasn't thinking only of this problem. You don't have this problem because, for the same reason, you don't have this problem in Hawaii. Everyone is mixed, and this is no real problem. But in general, when she mentioned crosses, she meant the hardships of life. And to me, I see someone who I like very much, or I love, and who has all the qualities that I expected or would have liked to have in a woman, and then I marry that person. It just happened that she might be a different color, which is really important. It's my way of thinking.
Yeah.
So that's no real problem, except in this society, of course. Besides, I enjoy myself when I can. Whenever I can enjoy myself, most of my friends anyway are sensible people, and I enjoy myself as often as I can. For instance, last night I had lots of fun at that party, and that was it. I put on a show for them because I like them.
The survival of a marriage depends upon a great number of elements. Among them, the existence of a ground of support in which the marriage can take root and flourish. Some of this support will be supplied by relatives and friends. Cultural myths and prejudice often stand in the way of such support. There are still those who believe that the non-Caucasian is somehow inferior, but genetically there is no evidence for such a belief. The pigment of a man's skin may differ from place to place, and his grandparents may have supplied him with a different value rating. But man is one, and no matter what his heritage, he delights in laughter and the expression of his art forms. The anthropologist says that man is one. The church says that there are no religious sanctions. In some parts of the world, there are still legal prohibitions against a marriage such as this, but not here. At least none that you can see. And the number of people who say they have no prejudice is almost overwhelming. What then are the problems? The problems seem to be the little things, the chance remarks, the looks, that betray a prejudice that is present, but not even known. Our white culture has educated us well, and the process of unlearning is a slow and sometimes painful one. Meanwhile, we are left with a residue of years, and our inmost feelings appear above the surface in innocent comment. And they're such nice girls, too.
It's getting late. You have some shopping to do, don't you?
I guess I should.
Something worrying you?
Oh, no, I'm just thinking that I hope we'll be able to give the children the support they need when they need it.
Don't worry about that.
It's not just the fact that the children may have to face prejudice, for children grow up. Nor is it, as some would say, that they're neither one thing or the other. Is it important that they be one thing or the other? Man is born a social being who can reach his fullest development only through interaction with his fellows. The denial at any point of this social bond between man and man brings with it disintegration. In this sense, every man is his brother's keeper. For every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main, because he is involved with mankind.